In Nigeria today, the government has woken up and has directed its efforts against Christians. Sometime in the past, we heard that there was a plan to change the curriculum of our primary and secondary school pupils. And we said, this man can't do it. He did it. Our children are being taught in our schools under religious and civic studies things that are heresies contrary to our faith. Some months ago, they went and revived one law they said came from 1949 about registration of churches because they are centers for marriage. The Christians said, you can't do it. They just ignored us. Of course, when it comes to appointments and concessions, when it comes to protection of lives and property, we know where the attention of this government is and whom the government will be only too happy to see exterminated completely: Christians. And when they tell you about Southern Kaduna is majority Christian. Don't forget this fact. And most recently, the president has signed into law an act that places all non-governmental, listen to that, non-governmental organizations, all of them, including Christian churches, under the control of the chief registrar of the CAC. CAC is a Corporate Affairs Commission. And they said that registrar can remove any bishop and put anybody they want to supervise the affairs of the church when they have reason to suspect fraud or mismanagement of funds. A government that can control the corruption in the clinic in Asarok. A government that can't check the corruption in any of its institutions, police, civil service, the army, in any of its organs and agencies, NCDC, EFCC, CIPC, they can't check the corruption in any of this. They can't check the corruption in the house, the legislative houses. And yet, now, they want to check the corruption in the churches. And some bishops are saying, they can't do this. Hey, Megbumekwe. And why Hegejime Makanaga de no. We are too divided and too selfish. And I keep telling you. Many, because we are all Nigerians. We as bishops and priests, we are not plucked from the tree. Our society is sick. Corruption is everywhere, and you cannot expect that institutions of the church will be without corruption. No, nobody will say that. And even worse, many of the so-called Christian leaders are just businessmen who are making as much money as they can through fraudulent means and deception of the people and spending the money recklessly. But having said that, government in any church ego. Does this government give any penny to any church in this country? You cannot control how the money you generate is spent, and you want to control how the money that was not generated by you is spent. What is this? Forces of evil aligning against the church. And if they will succeed in Nigeria, it is because Nigerian Christians and their leaders are too selfish. When it is happening in Kaduna, We think it doesn't concern us. No, Alibu. It doesn't concern the rest of Nigeria. On the Biafra. On Yoruba land. It doesn't concern the rest of Nigerians. Because no, Abondo Femano. And of course, if the church belonging to Christ Apostolic Church is destroyed, so long as it's not a Catholic church, there's no problem. I'll just sigh and life goes on. Now, you remember what happened in the prophecy of Ezekiel to the dry bones? Son of man, prophesy to these bones so that they may have life. The first thing that happened to that when that prophecy was given was that the bones came together. God can make dry bones rise and become alive, but first they must come together. Christians, we must come together. Why is it that any small boy here or mabe, yoriopa, riakatakpa, yodo, any small boy becomes more powerful than an entire parish? We are not united. We even find our own igwes, Catholics, who expect the bishop to come to bury them because they are igwes. Na arokwa uloma. Na bu igwo halile ne momenal. Jumani am warokwa mama oloka mbone joka mbaje vujozie monwu. Now, ndaba no maburu mputa de ganko. A government that has buckled before terrorists and bandits that are destroying the nation, now wants to flex its muscles with churches and NGOs. A president, retired general of the Nigerian army, and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, who does not know where these bandits get their arms, wants to control churches and NGOs. Well, the rumors may be true that they are all part of a grand plan of Islamizing this country. But I'm sorry for the Muslims. They may be deceived. It may not be about Islam. It may be about one ethnic group that wants to found a modern empire in Nigeria. And when I say that Christians are too divided and too selfish, don't forget that the second in command in this country is a senior advocate of law, the senior advocate of Nigeria, a professor of law, and a pastor. Are there no Catholics in the houses of assembly? In the National Assembly? Are there no Christians in government? Are there no Christians in the parastatals? Are there no Christians where these decisions are taken? When we bishops warn them, we have heard this. What they tell us, it is not true. Including last March, we raised alarm. It is not true. I got the no. Yes. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the most powerful emperors in modern history. A Frenchman who wanted to colonize the whole Europe, including the church with the Vatican. But the Pope stood his ground. You can't control this church. And the Cardinal Secretary of State that time was resisting Bonaparte. And the emperor told him, look, Cardinal, I'm warning you. You are resisting me. Don't you know I have the powers to destroy the Catholic Church? Cardinal, hey, she's here. Look, we, cardinals, bishops, and priests, for more than 1,500, 800 years, we haven't even succeeded in destroying the church. Obregon. How can you succeed? Where is Napoleon and his empire now? Both gone. Where is the Catholic Church now? Still running. But what I want to tell you, don't forget that when the church died in Jerusalem, it was born in Rome. And as it is dying in Europe, it is rising in Africa. By the time it is now dying in Africa, it is rising again in China. Don't allow your own church to be part of those that will be overcome by darkness because of your indifference and selfishness. What is your faith? Whom do you believe in? And who is Jesus Christ for you? If you know Christ, he knows you, and he will reveal yourself to you. And he will tell you, you are not warm, you are a rock.